The Two-Petal Ring, Guardian of Silent Hope. Sequel to the Whispering Ring of Lyriel. After peace returned to Lyriel, and Alara restored the balance with her first creation, the Blooming Wing Ring, she sensed something unfinished. The forest still murmured, but this time the sound was softer, like a sigh or a whisper from deep beneath the roots. She followed the call to the Glimmer Grove, a sacred place untouched by war or sorrow. There, in the early morning haze, Alara knelt beside a blooming wildflower whose petals looked like tiny beads. She plucked one fallen petal and felt warmth surge through her fingers. "I see," she said softly. "Not all healing needs strength. Some healing only needs presence." So she began to create again, this time, a gentler ring. One not for battle, but for mending hearts and nurturing joy. She crafted flower beads into open blossoms, each petal a quiet vow. Silvery seed beads to hold the flower together, symbolizing patience and connection. Leaf beads for guidance, reminding the wearer to follow the wind. And at the very center, she placed a transparent, crystal clear bead, pure.com, and filled with light. This was the Two-Petal Ring, a sister to the Blooming Wing. It did not glow or pulse like the first. Instead, it warmed only when near a soul that needed gentle hope. It was meant to be found, not given. Years later, a grieving herbalist named Lyra stumbled upon the ring beneath a tree that had never bloomed. The moment she wore it, the tree sprouted a single white blossom. The Awakening of the Twin Rings, Part 3 of the Legend of Lyriel. Though Alara had long disappeared into the myths of Lyriel, the two rings she created, the Blooming Wing and the Two-Petal, lived on, quietly choosing new hearts across the realm. But something stirred in the skies above Lyriel. The stars began to fall. Rivers reversed their paths. Trees bloomed in winter and wilted in spring. The balance had shifted again. This time it was not darkness that threatened the land, but forgetting. Magic itself was fading from the memories of people. They no longer believed in the whispers of wind, the glint of dew, or the shimmer of handmade wonder. The rings began to dim. Far across the mountains, Lyra, the herbalist, now older and wiser, still wore the Two-Petal Ring. And in a nearby village, Navi, the child, grown into a brave young protector, guarded the Blooming Wing Ring passed down to her from Ilara's hidden box. One night, they both dreamt the same dream. A voice like water and stars whispered, "Together, you must come. The rings remember, even if the world forgets." Following the dream, they met at the Circle of Echoes, where the spirit of Alara once stood. As they brought the two rings close, the air trembled. The petals of the Two-Petal opened wider. The butterfly wings of the Blooming Ring spread again. From the center of the clearing rose a third bloom, the memory lily, a flower said to only grow when both hope and protection stand side by side. The rings pulsed once more, stronger than ever, and from their light, a seed of new magic was born. From that day, the two guardians, Lyra and Navi, became the keepers of belief. Wherever they traveled, they rekindled forgotten magic. They taught people how to listen to flowers, how to speak to light, and how to craft with meaning again. And it's said that if someone finds a ring with petals and crystal, or butterfly wings and glowing beads, they hold a spark of Ilar's story and might be the next to awaken magic. The heir of petals and wings, the legacy continues. Years passed, and magic slowly returned to the realm of Fairytale. Thanks to Lyra and Navi, people remembered the old ways. They planted not just seeds, but intentions. They crafted not only jewelry, but meaning. But Alara's rings had one more purpose. On the eve of the blue moon, both the blooming wing and the dupital rings began to glow again, not softly, but brilliantly, as if calling. It was then that a young girl named Kelly, who had never known magic, stumbled upon Lyra's garden. Her hands were small, often stained with ink and glue from trying to make things no one taught her how to. Lyra saw her curiosity and smiled. "Would you like to learn to make something special?" Kelly nodded. As Lyra and Navi taught her to shape flower beads into petals, to sew silvery seed beads gently around a crystal clear center, and to tuck in a single leaf bead for balance, something stirred in the air. The moment Kelly placed her handmade ring on her finger, both ancient rings Alara's originals flashed once, then fell silent. The legacy was safe. Kelly's ring was not enchanted by spells, but by the pure magic of intention, creativity, and heart. That was always Alara's final lesson. Magic lives in the hands that make with love. Kelly's bloom, the story behind the ring you're about to make. Kelly, the girl with the ink-stained fingers, didn't know she was part of a legend. She only knew she loved making beautiful things from tiny forgotten pieces: beads, thread, crystals, and dreams. As she finished her first ring made of flower beads, silvery seed beads, a leaf bead, and a crystal clear gem at its center, the wind changed. The petals on her ring shimmered faintly, not with old magic, but with something newer: creation magic. Navi and Lyra, the guardians of the twin rings, smiled at each other. They knew Alara's time had ended. Now, Kelly's chapter was beginning, not as a protector or healer, but as a storyteller of beauty, through her hands. Kelly's ring didn't glow or shield or guide. Instead, it inspired. And from that day on, every person who learned to make a ring with her carried a little piece of that magic, because every stitch, every bead, every choice whispered the truth. You are not just making a ring, you are continuing a legacy.